welcome Darko Jorgic.
So the Slovenian Darko Jorgic will be taking on the young Chinese player, a first ever WTT encounter between these two. And it comes with some compelling plot lines, not least surrounding Darko Jorgic, who has been very vocal and saying he really wants to establish his form at international level here. Remember, it's the best of 5 still, as they open their account in the round of 32. And there's an age difference between these two, obviously a 19-year-old against a 26-year-old here. Ranking-wise, 16 places between them. And it's a young Chinese player who's really continuing a theme we're developing here in Incheon this week, which is the emerging talent from that country, giving us a glimpse of what they're about. And a look in on Kwon Oh-yoon, our umpire for this one, who'll be calling the players across for the toss.
Red, blue, red. Red for Jorgic, blue for Cheon. Cheon won the toss.
So we'll come back to CHENYUANYU in just a moment. Wins the toss. Fraser Riley's with me for this one. Just having a little look at Darko Jorgic. He's a compelling story in that he's shrugged off a bit of a back problem that had plagued him in recent times. But also he's been on the record as saying he doesn't want to be seen as just a club player. He wants to be known on the international circuit. Highly world ranked and somebody with the potential obviously to go deep in tournaments. Can you understand where he's coming from? Needs to up his results at this level.
No, 100%, John. Great to be with you here. You know, a 3-time Europe Top 16 Cup champion, the only man alongside Dmitry Ovtcharov to have a hat-trick at that prestigious event. Within Europe, within the league, amazing player, basically unbeatable. Would love to pick up his ideas on the WTT stage, up against a man here who is, well, just at the start of what we expect to be a really incredible career. CHENYUANYU, only 19 years of age.
Yeah, you saw him in action in Chongqing as we take a little look at the prize money here. $40,000 for the champion. Right now, they're focusing on the $6,000 available to making it to the round of 16. Remember, the men and the women with equal prize money here. Just going back to CHENYUANYU, he is somebody who we saw, and that's why we've got almost 50-50 on the fan vote there, I suspect. Thanks for going to worldtabletennis.com and voting. But Fraser in Chongqing, he pushed Anton Chalgare all the way, really, didn't he, before going down 3-2?
He did really well against the Olympic finalist in men's team. And, well, of course, he won the Contender Muscat this year as well, the second event of the season. So, after beating Tomokazu Haramoto, proved that he can beat anyone on his day. And, you know, these kind of experiences now being at this ranking will do him nothing but good.
Knows how to win. Back in 2024, won a feeder in Dusseldorf as well. So definitely someone who's got a threat here for Darko Jorgic. Question is, how does Jorgic respond? What do we expect from the Slovenian?
Well, he's a backhand-orientated player. He's got to look to serve with a lot of spin, perhaps the backhand serve from the forehand side. Maybe he'll just start with the pendulum, serves with a lot of topspin on that. So, if he can handcuff CHENYUANYU in the serve receive.
versus Cheon. First game, Jorgic serve. Lobo.
Get through this one, but it will be tough against a man he's never played before.
Net, love, all.
Just looking at the physical side of things, we've seen a couple of stretches already from Darko Jorgic. The key to him is making sure that he's physically able to compete early on. The back issue that plagued him, as I said, has now gone away, but that will still be in the back of the mind. You can be sure of that.
100%, and you know, he usually struggles quite a lot with the jet lag, Darko, but apparently he's been sleeping quite well here.
1-2.
Yeah, it's yin yang, I guess.
And whilst we're talking about mobility, he might have dropped the point there, but look at the young Chinese player on the balls of his feet. So limber, so good around the table.
Yeah. Classic Chinese silhouette.
Well, the backhand lets Darko down there.
Yeah, it was a beautiful service. He fooled CHENYUANYU. Couldn't put the cherry on top. I don't think he was expecting to have that much time on the ball. Better there.
2-4.
Yeah, the service for me is the best weapon in this matchup. The thing is, he's been studied, Jorgic. The players at this level know how to try and deny him that backhand third ball kill. So he's had to sort of reinvent himself a bit. Try and work on that forehand. Uses the hybrid rubber, the Slovenian, as well, to try and make countering these kind of balls easier. But that was a beautiful pickup from CHENYUANYU.
We've spoken a lot about Darko Jorgic so far. What do you make of this guy's game? What stands out for you?
I think, unlike Lin Shidong and more like Shang Peng, CHENYUANYU quite a forehand orientated player. Oh.
Well, twice he recovered from net courts there with no real problem, but in the end, can't stop the ball that's driven straight at him.
Such good caressing play here. This one was brilliantly dealt with. But there's quite an obvious difference between the backhand of CHENYUANYU and his forehand. His backhand's more of a probing shot. The forehand is the kill shot, which is different from Jorgic. Jorgic, quite like Thomas Putzar, quite like his teammate Franziska, loves to win the point with the backhand, loves to play the backhand from the middle. And that middle is the bane of his existence. Suffocated him for space there, CHENYUANYU. Playing into that right pocket of his opponent. Jorgic, to be fair, trying to take it early.
And when you're looking to always live by that backhand, you might die by it as well. Unable there to execute Darko Jorgic.
Well said. Because if he comes in to play that backhand flick and then Chen gets his forehand into the middle, Jorgic will be stuck in between two possible options.
7-6.
That was really well put away though from the Slovenian. The Chinese actually have a lot of respect for Jorgic because he's beaten Liang Jinquin before, he's beaten Lin Shidong before. Nearly even beaten Ma Long in Xinjiang and Fan Zhendong at the finals men in Doha. So Jorgic, a really clever match player.
And he's holding a 2-point advantage.
7-8.
And it's vital first, which is getting tight. So quick on the put away and so good at going wide on the table there, Chen.
What a forehand flick that was. It's a decent little angle with that touch from Jorgic. Snapping through.
But he nudges back in front again, the Slovenian. 9-8 with the serve. And earns himself a couple of game points as well. So as we saw with Chen Xingtong in the first match of the day, first game not going the way of the Chinese player at the moment. Denied. Darko Jorgic must have thought the backhand was going to take him to that first game there.
But what a portfolio of forehands from CHENYUANYU. being able to block there, use the pace on the ball, take a step back after Jorgic raced in. That was impressive, especially against game point.
But he can't stop that one, and it's the first game that goes 11-9 to Darko Jorgic, who's off to a strong start here in Incheon. So plenty for player and coach Chen Jiang to think about here. Now, as the first game goes the way of Darko Jorgic without a coach. Well, he might have dropped that first game, but he's really on an upward trajectory career-wise. Top mover at this event over the last 12 months in men's singles. CHENYUANYU is the one that is on the go. We saw Shui Fei in action yesterday, but this is the 19-year-old Chinese player at the moment who needs to figure out how he's going to get back into this match. Darko Jorgic prowls at his end of the table, having taken the first. It was tight, and you feel that that will continue to be the case.
Love 1.
Takes something to get that forehand back, and he more than does it.
CHENYUANYU's been burgled there. It was a great third ball. What a shot from Jorgic. Clever serve, clever serve. The best servers are the most subtle servers. You need two serves that look the same but do different things, and you can't make it obvious what you're going to do.
1-all.
Oh, good sportsmanship there from CHENYUANYU. I think it hit his chest, his shirt on the way through, so he said
1-2.
And so, oh, sorry, Jorgic said hit his shirt. Sportsmanship from the Slovenian.
3-1.
Looks a little bit perplexed at that one, though.
Such a wristy flick. That's an obvious difference between Chinese and European players. Chinese backhands usually aren't as wristy. A bit more forearm.
3-4.
And once again, long with the forehand then. Always looking to get on it, looking to play it whenever he can. But that was at full reach.
Yeah, full reach, and you can't really play a shot with a lot of power at full reach. Ooh, completely misreads the service there, CHENYUANYU.
Lucky to get anything on it.
Wouldn't mind seeing that one again. It did hit his rubber. I think he tried to sort of come across the ball, which didn't make it easier. That's the thing about that Jorgic serve. He's a square to the table player, so starting with that serve just makes sense for him.
It was the depth, really, that made that hard there for Chen, and it's a 1-point lead for Darko Jorgic once more.
Well, he'll look to nip this in the bud, CHENYUANYU. You might see a timeout soon.
You're waiting on that call, aren't you? Because at the minute, Darko Jorgic is very much in control of proceedings. That's another point that goes his way there. 7-4 now.
Look at this. Such a nice pickup. Just brushes the ball down the line and then adds to it with that trademark backhand. Good flick from CHENYUANYU.
5-7.
Needed something like that right there. Had a good success rate with his forehand flick.
So gets within 2, has the serve as well. He's backing himself here, CHENYUANYU, to ride this one. And that's where he's dangerous.
Jorgic maybe wanting to play one too many backhands in this rally. Yeah, that backhand flick from the middle cost him space, positioning at the table. CHENYUANYU punished him for it. Good use of the peripheral out of position.
Net 6-7.
Just see how low the players are. It's amazing. Staying engaged with that core, the balance, the wide base.
And that's a big point and a big shot there. Dug deep, bent deep, and leveraged the forehand there, the Slovenian.
He took it so late. The ball had nearly disappeared out of his sight. That was a great shot.
And there's another. That's a completely different one. Pounces to take a 3-point lead. And these are troubling times for the fans of CHENYUANYU. Because now, come on, says the Slovenian. How about this? 4 game points for a 2-game-to-love lead.
What a streak from the Slovenian number 1.
Double bounce. 7-10.
Yeah, good spot there, John. Just hear it, couldn't you, before Jorgic made contact?
Oh.
That's the venom that we love to see from the Team China A-listers. Fantastic counter from CHENYUANYU. Jorgic must have thought he had him dead and buried with that forehand. Came back with intent.
Barely any backswing either.
No.
But there are still 2 game points in the pocket here for Darko Jorgic. And he gets it with just one of them. This is turning into a testing outing for the young Chinese player. Darko Jorgic has spoken about his ambition before this match, and he's demonstrating ambition in it. He is in a strong position here. 2 games to the good. 11-9, 11-8. It's not been easy by any means, but he is on course for the round of 16. Ranked Darko Jorgic living up to his favorite billing in this one. It's been an impressive performance because he's up against a highly talented young player. He just seems to know when to pick up the points, and he's done so at vital times, Fraser, in the course of these 2 games thus far.
He certainly has, John. I've been really impressed with Jorgic's stress management. No Andrea Oystershek, his coach in the corner. He's here by himself. And wow, he is delivering here in Incheon so far.
Backhand this time. He's pulling them all out. And this is the key opening, you feel, to this game now. These big points now. Time to turn the screw mentally on his 19-year-old opponent, and he's doing just that. That's experience.
It was brilliant fishing play. He intimidated CHENYUANYU even though he was on the back foot. He didn't lob, he fished. CHENYUANYU saw Jorgic racing back in and tried to clobber it a little bit too hard.
That's now 3 points at the top of the third. Timeout called, understandably so, because this is looking like a treacherous situation for CHENYUANYU.
是吧？但是像我第一场先不失误，你防到我这，先先呀，就是先别失误，明白吧？其他也没有什么这个时候啊，要心性里面哎站定了，注意节奏，就当当当，不噼里啪啦的，听到没有？发力也是踩踏踏再举手啊，现在不要说咚这举手，因为失误太多了的时候，他长他的士气的时候，他其实并没打很好，对不对？他也没怎么，他就捡你失误，偶尔防你一个。是吧？他有点变化，落点发球啊，上手他有点变化，他这并没打进他，慢一个扣出一个就打，好不好？啊，站住了啊！哎，把气搞赢了啊！
Are we going to see one of the promising young Chinese players exit? At this stage of any event, you don't expect to see too many. We saw CHENYUANYU go out against brilliant Lim Woo yesterday. Now, CHENYUANYU is very much under threat. Love 3 down, trailing by 2 games.
Yeah, a loss here for CHENYUANYU would mean that the Dark Knight Lin Gaiyuan would be the sole Team China player remaining in this top half of the draw.
Port 1.
Jorgic is just in the mood, in the zone right now, showing basically no sign of slowing. How on earth? It's actually my favourite rally of the match there, John. Not the most powerful rally, but this touch of CHENYUANYU was amazing, and the rally continued. So much feeling, so much flair from both players there.
Should he win this one, Darko Jorgic's reward would be a place, of course, in the round of 16 and an encounter in that round with the winner of the Sora Matsushima Dang Chu matchup, which is going to be the last one we'll bring you in this session, session 1 today.
There'll be one player in this half of the draw that Jorgic would love to beat more than anyone else, and that man is Lim Woo, the player that beat him at the Olympics twice, both at the quarter-final stage. Jorgic has beaten basically every player here apart from him.
And he looks like he's got the beating of CHENYUANYU. He is in a hurry, 7-point lead, 8-1 and serving. He looks a beaten man, the Chinese 19-year-old here. Body language is not the strongest at the moment. And it's a long road back, but he must continue to produce shots like that.
I'm actually surprised, looking at this position, we haven't seen more long serves from CHENYUANYU because of the strength of Jorgic's touch play. I feel like if he could have got himself into the rally more often, get that forehand in, would have been better off. It's all but done now.
Say that again. Emphatically put away for 8 match points for the Slovenian here. Down the line, into the distance, and the finishing line now very much in sight. Not this time, but he's got the luxury of a handful of points here to win this one.
He won't be worried, but he wants to finish strong.
And he gets it done.
Game match to Jorgic. Jorgic wins 3 games to loss.
You can see what that means. A man who wants to do better, who wants to go deep in WTT tournaments, has made an emphatic